just need to get one of these bales down because I've got someone coming to have a look at some of this hay, wrapped hay, because I'm going to start maybe trying to sell some of it now. And I've seems to be a lot of interest in hay and haylage for horses, so it's a job to know how to price it. But yeah, I need to. The problem I've got is I managed to stack them 4 high with this JCB, but it's kind of like dropping the last one in place, but I don't think there's any way I'll be able to get the grab over to get them back, get the top layer back down. So I'm probably going to climb up and see if I can push one off the top, just so I've got a bale, because I need to open a bale so that people can have a look, see what it's like. Well, I want to have a look, see what it's like as well. There's a couple of bales with little bits of rips in them, but in theory, even if there's a rip in them, it shouldn't be too spoilt, because it's not. It was wrapped as hay. There'll only be the odd bale that was maybe a little bit like haylage. Most of it, 99% of it, would have been fine unwrapped. So just because it's got a hole in the side, it might have a little bit of mould around the hole, but I don't think it's going to have spoilt the whole bale. Anyway, we'll have a look, climb up and see if I can push one down. The thing is, the problem I think I'm going to find is that I baled them way too tight, and the reason why most people bale horse haylage bales very slack is mainly so that you can push them around and deliver them without having to use a loader tractor to deliver them. So anyway, we'll find out. Disaster really. I've lost one of my sheep. I've chased it all the way, followed its tracks all the way up a footpath, and now I've lost it. I've lost the trail. Oh, what a disaster. I decided to move the sheep last night, and they obviously weren't electric fence trained, so they've jumped out, and then one of them ended up on its own, and I followed it. It got onto a footpath and I followed it all the way up to over here. Jess is just coming on the bike. She's come up. Where is she? She's just come up the road on the quad bike, which rules out that it went out through that gateway. So it's either gone into these other sheep or it's gone off in that direction. Oh, there's just more hassle than there were sometimes. Put a bit of straw in these cattle to scrape this passage out, and then I'll put a bit of this horse muck in the passageway just to stop them sliding around. Well, it just stops them sliding around, and it absorbs quite a lot of the muck. And then I'll go and empty the spreader again. That'll be the second load today. Finally got all these sheep back. God, what a job that was this morning. So we moved the sheep here yesterday from the field at home. We just moved them over to here because they were running short of grass, and I haven't got any more oats to feed them. Most of them are around about 40 kilos, but I wouldn't mind them just being a little touch heavier really before I sell them. So anyway, we put them on here because this has greened up a bit. It's not a huge amount of grass, but anyway, we put an electric fence. We put an electric fence along here, and then there's sheep net all down there, all down this side, and then we put another electric fence along that rough bit of hedge at the bottom. But I don't think they're really used to electric fences because there hasn't been any where they've been since I've had them anyway. So in the night they decided to jump over that electric fence. Well, the 17 sheep, 16 of them jumped over there, and one of them apparently jumped back into the yard. But when we came in and disappeared into the trees, but we didn't know that this morning when we came to check them, they were all missing. and all those posts were lying on the floor. So went looking for them, found them stood in the farmyard, which is 2 fields that way, but there was only 16, not 17. So I left them where they were, locked them in the yard, and went looking for the missing one. And I was looking at, there's loads of pits in 3 fields over from here where there's someone else's sheep, and I went looking around there to see if I could find them. Basically spent the whole morning looking around in all these pits, thinking it's gone and got stuck in some brambles or stuck in a pond or something. And anyway, eventually I found it lying at home here in those trees. It'd gone back to where it had been the day before. So I then went, it's a long story this, I then went to go and fetch the 16 sheep out of the yard, sent Kemlin in to fetch them out of the yard, and he only fetched one of them and didn't bring the rest. So we went back, I went in to fetch the sheep out of the yard. By the time we got the other lot out, the one that he'd fetched out first had disappeared down this hedge line and out of sight and gone onto a footpath, and then gone miles. He's gone half a mile round this footpath. We followed the sheep tracks all the way up the footpath, bumped into a dog walker. They said they'd passed it. Oh, and anyway, we followed the tracks so far, and then the tracks just disappeared and we couldn't find it. So we thought we better come back and check these and just check it hasn't found its way home. So we came back and counted the ones that were here, and there was only 15, and there should have been 16. And then we were just about to head off up the road, and it appeared at the hedge in the road. So, oh, what a job! The story's a lot longer than that, but that's the gist of it. But anyway, we got them back in here this morning, and then the one that was over there on its own found its way back and just jumped back in. So hopefully they'll settle now. We'll just keep track of these, keep checking these electric fences, because I'm not sure how good the batteries are. But yeah, so that was this morning's drama. That was all morning, just faffing around just for 17 sheep. But there you are. So hopefully they'll stop on here for a couple of weeks, and then they won't go into the market really, and then I'll have to make a decision whether to get any more or call it a day. There's loads of grass about. It's just fencing them and keeping them in is just, you wonder whether it's worth it really, for what money you make out of them, if any. But yeah, anyway, Dan's fitted some new lights on this Case tractor, because the front lights were terrible. So he's put some treated himself for Christmas, put some UTVs on. I think they're UTVs, are they? And then he's gone and put a spotlight on the spreader for me. I think it wants a guard over it, because I think it'll get ripped off as it is. But if you're ever spreading in the dark with this spreader, you can't see anything with the tractor lights on. So I said it'd be good to have a light shining into the spreader so you can see how full it is. So I haven't used it in the dark yet, but hopefully. Oh, he's wired it up to the beacon plug, so you can turn it on separate to the tractor lights. So yeah, these are what he's put on. Yeah, UTV. They're supposed to be the lights to have, aren't they? So, and I've sold a couple of bales of hay, so we're going to start trickling out some of the hay, unwrapped and wrapped hay, over the next couple of weeks. So. Yeah, so that's all that's been going on. That'll be the end of this video. There's hardly anything happened in this video, to be honest. We've been doing a lot of work in the house. Moved back into the farmhouse basically 2 or 3 days before Christmas, so there was a mad rush to get it all tidied out and ready for Christmas. So yeah, we've had a good Christmas really. We spent the Christmas here with most of the family, so happy days. That's what we've been doing. Not a lot of farm work and no progress on the packing shed, but we've got a lot of progress done in the house and in the garden. And yeah, we'll see what this year brings. So far it's looking good. I think it can only really get better. So thanks for watching anyway all this year, and we'll start off, the next video will be a January one, hopefully in the middle of January, so we'll see how we get on there. Bye for now.